almost neighbors somehow, right? You were living in Congo, DRC for some times, if I remember well. Um,
I moved like at really young age, and I lived in Tanzania. So yeah, I just been traveling around Africa a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been traveling all over. Like you're really the definition of Pan-African. Like this is really amazing. um, and if you had basically an advice to give an entrepreneur that wants to start in the fashion industry, like what would you advise that entrepreneur?
I feel like if you want, especially if you want to start in a small business, like fresh start, you should always have, don't just quit your job, your day job, and like, oh, I'm gonna start because it's hard work. You have to be persistent. You have to have a passion for it. You have to be motivated, and sometimes motivation dies. You have to stay disciplined so that you can stay to your course. So start small. Like ask people around. I think research is important. What type of fashion you want to go in? Because there's so many category of fashion that you want to go in. Do your research. Find a mentor. I didn't, but you should find one. Find a mentor and stay focused. But if it's something that you really want to do, don't give up on it because it will get hard. It's not a sailing journey. It will get hard. There'll be time where you're just like, oh, I don't want to do this. But it will get hard. But don't give up. But always have a part-time job. Support yourself so that you don't have to stress so much about the finances.
Yeah, no, definitely. I would definitely see the same. It's funny because everyone says to entrepreneurs, like, you have to be full-time. It's very important because we want you to be fully dedicated to your entrepreneurs, which is true. It's important, but it's just not possible for everyone. Like at some point, like I know that a lot of my entrepreneurs friends in Europe, for instance, managed to just take 3 years for themselves. They didn't work at all. They just started the business until it was making money for them to be employed by their own business. But for me personally, it was not possible. I guess for you either, like to take that kind of break out of your salary and just live on savings or your parents. So you have to find other ways to sustain yourself. And if you're really driven by the passion, everything is possible and manageable. Like it is all about how you manage it, how you drive it. And would you recommend certain partnerships? And have you even yourself working in collaborations, maybe with international partners or with local large brands in South Africa to get access to, I don't know, other clients or other possibilities, basically? And would you recommend that for other fashion designers?
For me, I have never done it. So I don't think I have any opinion on that. But for my brand, I've always trying to keep it very exclusive in terms of I don't want to see the next 20 people wearing the exact same thing. So I always used to make 10 items, and if that finish, create new ones with different patterns just to keep it unique and different, because you don't want to see every single person wearing the exact same thing. So I've never really partnership with big brand or big companies. So no, I have no opinion on that because I've never done it.
No, but that's also something we need to talk about in our next session. No, but that's true. I fully understand the uniqueness. It's super important. But we've seen at Marin Capital for sometimes that when you have partnerships with another brand, it doesn't need to be on the production side. You can even be on other collaborations, like even on marketing or anything like that. But you can really like skip steps in your growth. And we had the examples in the education industry, for instance, with Science that was based in Zimbabwe and partnered with a company in the UK, and it helped them to get so much scale. Like I don't say that it works all the time, but sometimes if you really focus on certain kind of partnerships, it can really be very beneficial. And not only I see the comment of Plant Love Africa, like that's you can actually also partner with small brands. It's true, like it doesn't even need to be big brands, but sometimes collaborations can really bring you very far. It's very true. And I have two more questions actually, and one would be, what would you expect from, let's say, an advisor for your business like Melanin Capital? Like, what would be your needs now that you would expect from a financial advisor and business advisor like us, so that we actually respond to your needs and not to what we think is important. Oh, I think we have a connection issue, unfortunately. Chanceline, can you hear me? In a few minutes, it's the end of the live in any case, but it would have been great to have the last words. I'm sorry everyone, but thank you so much for being here with us. I think Chanceline has a small issue with her connection, which happens quite often when we work with other entrepreneurs in the continent, so that's not a problem. Just to summarize about what we've talked today, and maybe she'll manage to connect back and to join us again, but this was very inspiring because also for me, Chanceline is a very good friend. Like, we met on Instagram actually through her beautiful fabrics and beautiful design. She really inspired me with her passion for supporting young designers and small designers in South Africa. She provides definitely the whole platform, help them market themselves, help them work, like sell also their products alongside hers that she's produced herself, and that's she managed to market in South Africa and also internationally. So that's really an honor for me to have her on the live today, and I hope she'll be able to join again. But at least that was great. Thank you so much for your comments. It was really awesome to have you all, and we hope to do those conversations more often, at least every week, and host an entrepreneur that also has inspiring stories to tell and wants to also share their challenges and their successes, so that as Melanin Capital, we can really help them to get to the next level in the most relevant way, because there are many initiatives on the African continent that are doing amazing thing already and support entrepreneurs and support young businesses to get to the next level. So it's very important for Melanin Capital to be able to come at a place where there is still a need. And Angeline is asking me, what did I learn from this? Well, I learned first a very important aspect that we learned today is that COVID actually could be an opportunity for a lot of entrepreneurs. So when you see a setback like COVID, that can really kind of make you feel that everything is over and it's going to be very difficult to grow. Actually, it's maybe an opportunity for you to pivot and adapt, and that's what Chanceline has done by using her business that was fully offline and needed like a physical shop and everything, and did it online. So that was a very big learning for us. The second learning is that it is extremely difficult for entrepreneurs to get access to funding, and at some point it doesn't make sense to even continue if you don't have the right mentors or the right support. What was important is to put Chanceline, you back. So happy to have you back. No, don't worry. I was just telling basically the key learnings that we had so far from the talk that you had with you, and I was telling about COVID, the fact that it can be seen as a very big disadvantage or a setback, but that actually it's also an opportunity to pivot and maybe to see another way or avenues of opportunities, like the way you did going online exporting, going abroad. Then I was talking about funding and the fact that at some point, if you don't have the right mentors or networks, the most important is actually to keep going and to keep building. So using your own money and your own savings to invest it in your business yourself and to keep doing the work. And that's something that I learned also through our talk. Very important. And yeah, I was sorry.
And I think it's also very important if you're looking for funding, and you've already funded your own business, you have trust in your own brand, you have trust in your own business, so that will also be easier for you to fund fundings, if I might say that myself. So I think that's also an important thing for an entrepreneur to know. In terms of, instead of waiting for someone to come and fund your business, you should start yourself, because you show that you're believing in your own brand, you believe in your own business or your own dream. Instead of waiting for someone to make it happen for you, you're making it happen for yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like in any case, it's very rare that investors are coming when there is nothing. They actually need to see like what they call traction. So they need to see that there is growth. You have clients that are really willing to pay on a regular basis, and you're making like significant revenues for them to be able to come in. So that's very true what you say. Another learning I wanted to ask you is about before it cuts. It was about how business advisors and financial advisors like Melanin Capital can actually support businesses like yours. Like, what would be your imminent needs, and what would you be looking at from us, basically?
So one thing that I think is very important right now for every small business is just to know how to manage the capital properly, or to manage the finances, because you're not making the same revenues that you used to make, say, a year ago. You're not able to make as much, you're not able to produce as much as you used to produce. So you need to find a way to cut costs and also trying to survive and whatever that you can make. I think that's one of the ways that, since you guys are a financial advisors, you can have small business, or you can have my business as well, you know, because it's difficult when a business used to make a certain amount and you have to sort of try and produce things beyond what you used to make. It's kind of like it's overwhelming, because you don't know what's next, you know. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. Well, this is definitely something we will be willing to provide. And I mean, we have our one-on-one sessions on Saturday, you and me, but for sure this is definitely something that we've seen from entrepreneurs, how they can manage their finances, and then how they can structure their business to be able to get access to those investors, like to actually be attractive for those investors. Because one thing that we also saw with Marian Capital is that a lot of entrepreneurs have a lot to show and already traction, but they just they don't have the whole documentation or the way of presenting their business that makes them get access to funding. And that is a real pity, actually. Actually, African Abroad blog has another question that basically is one also that I thought about asking you at some point. But did you have any fear starting your business and starting as an entrepreneur?
Yes. Yes, I did. Like, especially when it comes to African print, not everybody welcomes them the way you would. You understand? It's a different market. It's a different market. And I was afraid to start it because I didn't know if people were gonna like it. And I think because I also live in the town where yeah, in my area it's predominantly Caucasian. So so your market, so you know, it's African print, so you're supposed to market to the African people because love African print, and there's not much people to market to. So you don't know if the decision that you're making is right or not right. But like I said, my vision was, yeah, but my vision was to create a brand that it's African but is relatable to all. You know, it's anybody can wear it comfortably, anybody can wear it anywhere. So I was just like, I'm gonna push this. Whoever's gonna like it, and you know, that's what it's gonna be. Yeah. It was even very different.
Sorry, go ahead.
it was even difficult to just get the clothing into the shops around me, because not many people are familiar with it, not many, especially the Akara fabric. In South Africa, we have shosha, so many people are very familiar with shosha fabric, but Akara fabric, not many people were very familiar with it. So it's almost like you're standing out different. And most people, when they don't know something different, they tend to judge it, so you kind of had to push yourself. Yeah.
Oh, it's very interesting. Yeah, I haven't even thought about the fact that your audience would be actually predominantly not necessarily African. It's a very interesting point. And I've always seen like African fashion and African print like a way to also kind of value the culture, the African culture, like a bit like, well, I know it's not maybe the best analogy, but when Levi started with jeans, it kind of also communicated the whole American culture somehow to the world. And I see that at the moment, a lot of, especially in France, where I'm from, like you can see a lot of shops that have African fabrics, and now it's more and more mainstream. A lot of Caucasian also wear it, and it's not just for Africans. And I think this is a big revolution also in the market, because it shows like the value and the beauty of the African cultures, and it shows that it's recognized also across all continents and all cultures. So that's really amazing. Well, yeah. Chanceline, that was really lovely to have you. This was extremely rich in the exchanges and all the stories. And I think for us, of course, as Men Capital, this is very inspiring for us to hear, because we want to be a company that is really supporting entrepreneurs like you, and supporting you to achieve your dreams, to grow. And this is why we're also like partners with all the ecosystem across the African continents. We work with business angel networks that are very active in supporting young entrepreneurs, like the European Business Angel Network, the African Business Angel Network, even the Diaspora Angel Network, which we think has a lot to play into that market, even though the diaspora is abroad. And we work also with different funds and with financial institutions, with banks, because we think that, as you said, like at some points for entrepreneurs, it becomes tiring and difficult to get access to funding, though it is important, because that's the kind of, let's say, push and help that can help you to really get to the next level. So we'll keep working on that. As Maru Mafala, sorry, it's just said, it's a united effort, and we need to collaborate with incubators, with investors, with banks, to be able to bridge that gap and help you do even more for other designers in South Africa, for your business, and to make you the next big brand in Africa in fashion, hopefully.
Yeah, we hope so. We hope so. Yeah, it was very nice speaking, and thank you very much for inviting me as your guest. And I'm looking forward to all the other series and all the other entrepreneurs, so that we can connect and get to know them as well.
Thank you so much, Chanceline. It was really lovely. Thank you for accepting our invitation. And thank you, everyone, for joining us for this live, for your comments, for your nice feedback. It's really important for entrepreneurs to also hear about what you think, hear about your questions, and have your encouragements, because it can be a lonely journey. But when we are surrounded by nice tools like yours, at least it keeps us going. So thanks a lot. Yeah, you have another comment, Chanceline. Shika Afrika would look fab on the international runway. So that's really, I think that's really nice. It's really excites me too. So thanks a lot, and we see everyone next week for another episode of the Entrepreneurial Journeys. And we look forward to hearing about another sector, another entrepreneur, and another story. Thank you very much again, and have a good evening. Ciao.